Aragorn was going to bed. He went upstairs, opened the door, went in, and fell asleep. A snake slithered upstairs. The snake's name was Nagini. The family was reading Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Santa was flying and he finally landed on the roof. The dog barked and the cat growled when Santa went down the chimney.
Back in the room, the snake was going up to the bed. He fell asleep.
It was all quiet now with the snake asleep. Pickles and Alice stormed in and knocked the snake off the bed. They noticed that the snake was just sleeping. The end. Once upon a time, there was a panther strolling in the woods and saw a snake. The panther chases the snake, but before the panther can grab the snake, an eagle swoops in and takes the snake to its chicks.
The eagle drops the snake into the nest. The chicks fight over the snake. Then the snake falls into the sea.
Then two sharks swim towards the snake from both sides. But before the two sharks get there, the snake swims into a burrow in the water that leads onto land. The two sharks hit and pass out. The end.
Once upon a time, there was a dog and a kid walking to the park.
When they got to the park, they played football.
Then another kid and a dog got to the park. They played football. The ball went in the water.
Then they went home and they ate dinner. The end.
Deep in Antarctica, scientists search for the missing penguins. They landed their helicopter from Tacoma. Walking on, the scientists find a polar bear. But where are the penguins?
One scientist was riding the polar bear. Meanwhile, the pirate penguins locked up the penguins. The scientists find the ship. They battle. They battled from 9:45 to 12.
They continued battling. The scientists escaped in their helicopter. But then the wave destroyed the helicopter. Then another wave pushed the ship backwards, and the ship hit an iceberg.
Then when the ship was sinking, they didn't know there was TNT on the ship. So the ship exploded in the water. The end.
Once upon a time, there were two sister kittycorns who lived in a castle deep in the magical instrument forest upon a floating island. The kittycorn was very sad because she had lost her magic ring.
A dragoncorn came to their castle and told them that a soldier had stolen their ring.
Their platypus neighbor overheard the dragoncorn's story and offered to help. They traveled through the forest, past the ukulele brambles, and over the xylophone bridge.
Finally, they came to an army base
Where two army men in trucks guarded a tall tower. They tried to attack the soldiers, but the soldiers were just too strong.
Breakdance, shouted the platypus. The platypus distracted the soldiers by breakdancing while the kittycorn and the dragoncorn flew up to get the ring.
With its superpowers restored, the kittycorn wrapped up the soldiers with her magical horn and they safely escaped. The end. Once upon a time, there was a ballet performance. There was a huge dragon statue in the front of the theater.
An evil scientist who hated music and lived near the theater made a potion that made the statue come alive. he crashed into the theater and began eating people. The last person sang a beautiful song in front of him, and he did not eat her. He fell asleep instead.
She knew the director had a potion to turn things into statues, and she threw it on him.
He turned back into a statue, and all the people popped out of the dragon's belly. The ballet went on. Others were happy to finish their performance. Cutie the dog dreamt of building a house on the moon. One day his dream came true when a meteor fell on Earth 2 blocks away.
He snuck on a rocket ship and headed to the moon. When he got there, he looked for a place to build his house.
He hammered day and night. He built and built, and his house got bigger and bigger. When it was done, he looked around and said, "I'm lonely. This house is too big for just one cutie."
So he made another little house just the right size for a cutie.
He writes a letter to invite his friends to live with him.
He sends an alien ship to pick them up. Then his friends arrive in the ship, and they live in the big house. Everyone lives happily ever after.
Spiky the bad guy was cutting down trees to make a home, but he did not notice he was cutting down all of the trees. The guinea pig saw it all and suggested that all of the animals should help him stop Spiky. They came together to beat the daylights out of him.
"I am back, and you will pay for that," said Spiky. "I am going to cut down all the trees." In a clearing, Spiky was chopping down trees. All of the animals came. They had a big battle. Then there was a big boom. When the smoke settled, Spiky's engine was dead. They had defeated Spiky once and for all.
Once upon a time, there was 4 kids. They were walking home from school. Then they saw footprints. Lauren followed the tiger footprints, Zoe followed the cheetah footprints, Daniel followed the lion footprints, and Finn followed the bear footprints.
They came to 4 caves, and the animals jumped out at them. They got chased by the animals. The end.
Once upon a time, there was a snake named Zach. Zach heard a weird noise, so Zach went exploring in the woods.
For Zach's surprise, he found an elephant. Zach and the elephant heard a different noise, so Zach and the elephant went exploring.
To their surprise, it was only a cat. But then Zach, the elephant, and the cat heard another noise, so they went exploring. What they saw was a falcon. All of a sudden, they heard something by the river, so they went exploring. They found a seal. The snake, the elephant, the cat, the falcon, and the seal went playing in the woods, and they heard another noise. It was a unicorn, so they followed. To their surprise, it was a birthday party for Zach. All the animals had a blast. But soon it was time to go home. Goodbye, elephant. Goodbye, cat. Goodbye, falcon. Goodbye, seal. Goodbye, unicorn. And it was time for Zach to go to bed. Good night, Zach.